Arsenal really want to sign dangerous £38 million attacker who plays just like Bukayo Saka, and Rio Ferdinand says that the £49 million striker Arsenal wants to sign has been the best player of Euro 2024 so far. All this and much more can be found now with the latest Arsenal news directly from the Emirates Stadium. But before that, if you're as passionate about Arsenal as we are, don't waste any time and subscribe to our channel right now to stay updated on everything happening with the greatest team in the Premier League. And without further ado, let's dive into today's top news. Arsenal may have found the perfect player to provide competition to Bukayo Saka on the right wing. Mikel Arteta's side are on the market to strengthen multiple areas of their squad. They need better players to pip Manchester City to the Premier League title after falling short 2 seasons in a row. All eyes will be on players who can come in and start right away, but Arsenal need top-quality options off the bench too, which is something they lack compared to Pep Guardiola's side. Now, a report has claimed that Arsenal's interest in one player is the most concrete, despite links to Bayern Munich and Liverpool this summer. Arsenal really want to sign Johan Bakayoko. Johan Bakayoko has been linked with a move away from PSV Eindhoven for quite some time now. The 21-year-old is one of the most talented young players in the Eredivisie. He played a huge part in helping them win the Dutch league title last season and is now expected to move to a bigger club. Liverpool have been heavily linked with a move to sign Bakayoko for a long time now, with the young winger tipped by many to be the heir to Mohamed Salah's throne at Anfield. However, Arne Slot's side are not the club with the most concrete interest in Bakayoko, it's Arsenal. That's according to GVA, who have revealed that Arsenal want to sign Bakayoko ahead of both Bayern Munich and Liverpool this summer. The winger played twice against the Gunners in the 2023-24 season in the group stage of the Champions League. He must have caught Arteta'S eye in those games. The report claims that Bakayoko has the profile that suits Arsenal's system, but any transfer is likely to happen after Euro 2024. PSV, however, want £38 million for their star attacker to leave this summer. Bakayoko plays just like an Arsenal player. Arsenal have very good attackers, but Bukayo Saka is undoubtedly their best player in their frontline. The Englishman scored 20 goals and provided 14 assists in what was a really productive 2023-24 campaign. He is among the best right-wingers in the world. Unfortunately for the Gunners, they do not have a like-for-like replacement for Saka in their squad. That's where Bakayoko comes in, who has been described as PSV's version of the Arsenal number 7. Speaking ahead of Arsenal's Champions League clash against PSV, Adrian Clark said in 2023, "There's a player on the right wing, their most exciting player and most dangerous player is the right winger. A kid called Johan Bakayoko. He's only 20, now 21, he's quick, he's like Saka, he's their version of Saka. He plays off the right and is left-footed, so we have to be careful." Bakayoko's talent is unquestionable, and the fact that he is still only 21 means he will only get better in the coming years. That makes him perfect for Arsenal, where he will not just be a backup to Saka but will also push the England winger to a higher level. Borussia Dortmund are now very worried Arsenal are going to sign phenomenal 30-goal striker. Champions League finalists Borussia Dortmund fear that Arsenal could actually beat them to their key striker target this summer. Right now, it all seems pretty quiet on the transfer front at the Emirates, likely meaning that Edu is managing to work behind the scenes. Mikel Arteta will no doubt have ambitious plans for Arsenal this summer, aiming to bridge the gap to Manchester City next season. And not only will Arsenal have Pep Guardiola's side in their sights, but they'll simply just be determined to win the silverware their football deserves. After their record-breaking season, it almost feels wrong that Arsenal were left trophyless. And in order to ensure they're not in a similar position in a year's time, signing a 30-goal striker certainly seems like a good idea. Moreover, having missed out on signing Benjamin Sesko this summer, who has signed a new contract with RB Leipzig, it seems that Arsenal aren't quite done in the Bundesliga. It was recently reported that Arsenal holds serious interest in VfB Stuttgart striker Serhou Guirassy. The Guinea international enjoyed a phenomenal season for the German side, scoring as many goals as games. Guirassy netted 28 goals in 28 Bundesliga games, and didn't fail to find the back of the net in his 2 cup appearances either. And having registered their interest, journalist Florian Plettenberg has now shared that Dortmund fear that Arsenal could beat them to signing Guirassy. Plettenberg shared his update on X, explaining that the striker is yet to decide where he wants to go. He stated, "In the race for Serhou Guirassy, Borussia Dortmund fear FC Arsenal the most, at this stage. Guirassy has not yet made a final decision. No club has received his commitment as of this evening. Dortmund has made it clear to him that he is their desired striker for this summer. Decision soon, after Guirassy has informed Stuttgart that he will leave the club in summer. Stuttgart have expected that decision. The talks were always fair and open. Sergio Guirassy would be bargain for Arsenal. Although it would be odd to see this Arsenal project add a 28-year-old to their ranks, Guirassy could be seen as an exception this summer. It's been reported that Guirassy could cost as little as £17 million, a remarkably low fee considering his goal scoring. Playing in the same division, 21-year-old Sesko scored half of Guirassy's 28 Bundesliga goals last season. And whilst Sesko was predominantly a signing intended for the Slovenian's potential, Guirassy could make a considerable impact in the here and now. Moreover, given the price tag mentioned, Arsenal would still have financial wriggle room to sign a central midfielder and more. Rio Ferdinand says Arsenal's target is the best player of Euro 2024. Arsenal have been heavily linked with a move for Celtic's Nico Williams in recent days. It was claimed on Monday that the Gunners are ready to meet Williams' £49 million release clause this summer. The 21-year-old is yet to register a goal involvement for Spain at the Euros but has caught the eye with bright displays on the left-hand side. And in Ferdinand's opinion, the winger has been the standout player of the group stages. The pace is electric. I love him. I think he is the player of the round, the Manchester United legend told 5. Arsenal face competition for Williams. In what has become a familiar foe in the transfer market for Arsenal, Chelsea are also keen on snapping up Williams this summer. The Blues are reportedly ready to meet his release clause, but Williams' wage demands could cause problems for both London clubs. Reports have claimed that Williams would become one of Arsenal's highest earners should he complete a switch to the Emirates Stadium, which would likely unsettle key players at the club. With that being said, Arsenal are in desperate need of extra options out wide and have lacked genuine competition for the likes of Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli. Williams is a player who can operate off either flank, and his direct style would lend itself well to Arteta's demands of his wingers. Arsenal yet to decide if £30 million player will be allowed to leave this summer. It may come as a surprise to some Arsenal fans to see little seemingly decided on the future of Emile Smith-Rowe, even in these very early stages of the summer transfer window. Emile Smith-Rowe seemed to be a leading candidate to leave the Emirates this summer, having really struggled for opportunities for Mikel Arteta's side over the last 2 years. There is certainly plenty of interest in the England international. TBR exclusively reported that Brighton, Brentford, Fulham, Wolves and Crystal Palace are all keen on the £30 million rated Smith-Rowe. But perhaps there is still a chance that he could end up remaining at the Emirates beyond the summer. Arsenal yet to make final decision on Emile Smith-Rowe. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Charles Watts has suggested that it is still looking likely that Smith-Rowe will leave, but talks are still ongoing behind the scenes at the Emirates. My understanding is no firm decision yet has been taken on Emile Smith-Rowe when it comes to his future. Obviously, there's discussions going on right now, in terms of what the options are, he said. My understanding of the situation is still the most likely scenario is that he will be going this summer. Wouldn't be surprised if we start hearing more in the next week or so, regarding clubs in for Smith-Rowe. There's interest from the Premier League, Fulham, understood to be one of the clubs very much in for Smith-Rowe. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if things develop there at some point in the near future. But there's also lots of interest in Italy and Germany as far as I am aware. His preference though is to stay in the Premier League, that's the league that he wants to play in. It surely does Smith-Rowe no favors to remain at Arsenal this summer, particularly when he seems to be attracting so much interest in the Premier League. Now is the time for the academy graduate to properly get his career up and running after injury halted his progress when he seemed to have forced his way into the fold at Arsenal. Arsenal meanwhile, would surely relish the chance to receive a decent fee for someone who has been on the periphery for the last couple of seasons. It seems that everyone may have a clearer idea of what is likely to happen in the coming days. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.